how to measure your daily protein intake for weight loss. How to measure your daily protein intake for weight loss. And the best part is, as always, we are going to do it the No Fuss Fitness way, a way that doesn't require you to be attached to your phone and counting and logging all day long. So why we even care is because I've talked to you guys before about how eating enough protein is a very critical part of your weight loss success, how it's going to help you with your fullness, how it's going to help you with your cravings. It helps you with a lot of things. So we've talked about that before, but one of the things I realized from one of my Jumpstart participants today is I don't think I've really gone into detail about how to measure it. I think I actually took that for granted. So with that said, we sometimes wonder, or I realize now that we sometimes wonder, how exactly do we measure it? Like, am I weighing and measuring my food all day long? You guys know me well enough to know that's not the answer. So how do I really know? How do I know if I'm getting even close to 100 grams of protein per day or anything along that lines? How do I know? First thing, you guys, is read labels. So let's assume that you know which foods are proteins. Let's assume that you know that eggs are a protein. Let's assume that you know Greek yogurt is a protein. Let's assume you know that ground turkey or the chicken that you buy is a protein. Let's assume you know all of that. Or even your protein shake or your protein bars. All of these things that I'm mentioning come with labels, and they have nutrition labels on the back. On the back of your nutrition, of anything that comes in a package will be a nutrition label, and it will show you serving size, it will show you calories, and if you just keep going down that long list of things, you will see carbohydrates, you will see fiber, you will see fat, and you'll see one of the last nutrients that it shows is protein. So it will show you how many grams of protein are in a serving, and that's going to be on the package of anything that comes in a package. The second tip, you guys, is understand the difference between serving size and portions. Here's why this is important. Say if you have a tub of Greek yogurt and it says that there are 4 servings in there and there are 22 grams of protein, or let's keep the numbers easy, 20 grams of protein per serving, but you typically only get 3 portions out of that, right? So you're able to eat off of that tub of yogurt 3 times, but the label says that there are 4 servings in there and there's 20 grams per serving. Okay, what that really means is in the whole tub there's 80 grams of protein, and since you eat out of it 3 times and not 4, you are eating 80 divided by 3. It's more than 20. Okay, so that's how many grams of protein you are getting. The bottom line is you need to understand the difference between portion and serving size so that when you read the label, you'll know exactly how much protein you're getting for the portion that you typically eat. Where it gets tricky is sometimes with carbs, things that are high in carbs or sugar. Like, the food manufacturers are pretty slick, so what they'll do is on a label, they'll maybe give you a serving size that is half of a normal portion. So if you have a protein bar, right, or a granola bar, for instance, and they'll say there's only 20 grams of carbs per serving. But if you pay attention to the label, it'll say there's 2 servings in a bar. So what really just happened is you thought it was a 20 grams of carb granola bar, but you just had 40 grams because you typically eat the whole bar. So that's where I was going with that. But that example doesn't really pertain to protein. They don't try and trick you as much with protein, but you want to understand. So where that does come in is, let's say that you want more protein than what is listed. You may need to eat what's considered 2 serving sizes to get the protein that you need. And you also want to pay attention to the carbs and fat, because if you're doubling your portion size, or if you're eating 2 serving sizes to get the right portion of protein, you're also doubling the amount of carbohydrates and fats that you're getting. So there you go, guys. So the third tip, you guys, is to use an online database in the case that the food you're eating did not come in a package or the package is already gone. Where does this come in handy, right? Let's say you cooked meat and you just didn't read the label before you cooked it. Or let's say you bought some all-natural chicken from like a farmer's market and it was wrapped in butcher's paper and there was no nutrition value label on that. Or let's say you are eating out at a restaurant and You want to know how many grams of protein was in that grilled chicken salad that you just ate from Salata. In that case, you can use an online database. CalorieKing.com is one that I like to use because that one, has a lot of stuff. It's almost nothing that I haven't found in that one. So you want to make sure, again, when you use an online database, that you pay attention to serving. It gives you an opportunity to input your portion, how much you ate or how much you plan to eat, and then it will spit out the calories. It looks just like a nutrition label, and it'll show you how much protein is in what you've eaten or what you plan to eat. Guys, I did say that this was your daily protein intake for weight loss, right? This is the bonus tip, you guys. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. I'm not into spending 3 hours or having you spend 3 hours on a meal plan and 5 hours on a meal prep unless you're just into that. And you guys, that's not what I mean when I say plan ahead. But what I do mean when I say plan ahead is know what you typically eat, what protein sources you typically use, and know what portions you normally eat and how much protein is in them so that you can kind of have a loose plan of your day and what you plan to eat. Because everything else I just mentioned, you guys, if there's no plan in advance, it kind of opens you up to getting to the end of your day and then realizing that you barely ate any protein, but you ate plenty of food, you're not really hungry, and then you have the dilemma of, should I eat more just to catch up on my protein? If your goal is weight loss, the answer is no. But what you do want to do the next day and going forward is plan ahead so that you do not get into that predicament.